Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Guess the WN8, where my viewers submit games and I have to guess their stats based on nothing but their gameplay. If I get within 250 of their WN8 or 2% of their wins, then I win, and if I don't, I give them gold. This is a paid submission. You can find out more about how to submit by looking in the description. We will get engine noises in just a moment, but we are here in a T34. Now, the T34 actually kind of has my heart a little bit. I don't know why I like this tank, but I do. It seems to be a theme with me. Let me just sort out the volume. Yeah, it seems to be a theme with me with targeted tanks with lackluster DPM. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Object 268 version 5 as well, and that is debatably a good tank. I think it's a good tank, but the T34, like, you have to play it in a certain way because the theme of this tank is dictation. If you are in a circumstance where you're getting the game dictated to you, then you're gonna lose. You got 1,600 DPM. That used to be, not sure if it still is, but used to be the worst DPM on any non-auto-loading T8 heavy. So anything outside like the 5100, it had better DPM than this. Like, you know, your OHOs, your IS-20s, all of them could beat this in a straight-up fight, shot for shot. Which made it troublesome because you had to put yourself in the circumstance where you get to fire, exchange that damage, and then have the time to reload. Now, generally, you do that in heavy tanks by being with your team, being above the opponent, having hard cover. Is there another way? Yes, I forgot the last way, mitigation capacity. So, like being hull down or having good hull armor or something like that. Those are the methods that you can use to dictate the opponents. And you can use multiple of them at once, as we are doing here. Now, speaking of armor in the context of mitigation, its efficacy, at least on paper, is very efficacious, right? 279mm of front armor. You expect good hull armor on an American heavy tank, kind of what they're known for. But the thing about this vehicle is that, oh, that's nice, bit of gun blocking. Thing about this vehicle is that its roof is 38mm. Right here, all of this is 38. So that means it's going to be overmatched by above 114mm guns, I believe. So that's a lot of guns you're facing at around tier 8 and higher. Remember, listening can see tier 10s despite it being an old premium tank. No preferential matchmaking, and the cupola is a weakness as well. So a huge important thing in the T34 is, as you saw, cupola blocking. His gun went up directly after he fired because your gun is an external module. You can use it to block shots at weak spots of your tank, so it's good practice. An additional thing that you might want to do, and is especially useful in this position, is this little lip of this lock here can be used to tilt your tank slightly up. So in a vehicle like this with 10 degrees of gun depression and exploitable weak spots on the top, adding sort of 5 degrees tilt backwards would conceal a lot of your cupola and probably the entirety of the overmatched spot on the top of the tank as well. So I'd be trying to get forward here and tilt my tank up a little bit because I can still work that position and conceal my weak spots at the same time, not have to duck back and forth and probably not have to worry about cupola blocking that much. But let's talk about gun performance, shall we? 0.35 accuracy, and is it going to connect with the that is a... let's check if that's a poor shot, shall we? Let's not judge too much. Maybe this gentleman knows something that I do not about the Skoda T36. Maybe it was aiming inside the little lip of spaced armor there. Okay, Skoda T56 versus standard shells. Obviously, that's going to bounce inside. We do have a chance of penning. I've just learned something. I thought that was a bounce, but no, if you connect outside of the gun mantlet, then you can pen at that angle. Better shot was probably still the cupola, but hell, nice to learn, isn't it? Back in we get. And you always... Oh, hang on. Are we doing... We're tilting a little bit. I don't know if that was accidental, but you can see exactly what I mean. Right? Tilting the tank backwards. It is prudent in this position. Now, the T34 has, I think, the highest pen on any Tier 8 heavy. Is that still the case? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That's an odd angle to be penning with AP. 297. Didn't see that shot. I blinked. 297 with APCR, which is astounding. But even with AP, some of the highest pen found on a standard shell on a Tier 8 heavy. 248. Like, 248 is really good. Like, there are some Tier 10 vehicles that have 248 pen as standard, I think. Some of the low. It's 248, it's 258 the lowest. I know it's not far off. Like, to clarify, it's really damn good penetration. Which is nice, because as we talked about, the DPM is lackluster. Now, we want to be worried at this point about behind us a little bit. There's not much we can do about it. We just kind of gotta work on the aggression here, try and work people down, but it would be a little bit of a concern, because that contradictorious is now completely alone. Then again, if we look at that big old tiger up top there, chances are that he has shots at that Carnarvon, although why he's moving, I do not know. Okay, so the enemy should have just chosen their big old heavy tank at the front with the most hit points and literally just overpushed this. They are going against an XM and a T34. Neither of these tanks have good DPM, to be clear. They're threatening in certain situations. The XM is ironically a more versatile tank than the T34, but DPM is not something that they have, so especially when you outnumber them. And this is something that a lot of people underappreciate in the world of tanks, is just the value of numbers. Like, because the DPMs, are in the thousands. The DPMs are in the thousands, which means just one additional tank is huge value in an engagement. So if you outnumber an enemy force by even one tank, on average you will win that engagement when considered in a vacuum. It is that powerful. Simple numbers. And quite often, you're overmatching a flank by more than just one tank, so you should attempt to exploit that. All the enemy team had to do was not lose 800 health on a contradictorious, just push him all at once, others come in behind, these guys both die. Like, Skoda just come, like, you lose. It would be relatively close, but they would have won. Right? That's how World of Tanks works. Oh, and in that little kerfuffle, what should an autoloader like the Skoda do? Well, he should unload both his shells, and then either get to cover if he's greedy, or block a kill shot designated for someone else while he's reloading, so that we can have more active DPM in the engagement. Not many people think about engagements like that, but you certainly should. Okay, now the T34 weighs somewhere around 60 tons, I believe, so should be able to push this 60-ton Tiger up the hill, benefited by its buffed engine power. Used to be, I think, 710, it's now like 830, I think, somewhere around there, but feels a little more mobile than it used to be, for sure. Now, that XM is asking questions. Where, oh where, has that Skoda gone off to? Because it doesn't look like he's chilling all the way out wide at this point now, does it? Oh, but he is. Okay, count the shells. For God's sake, count the shells. 1, 2. Let's go! Come on, you've got to go. Just go kill secure the chopper, you fatuous cock! Hey, the man cannot shoot you. Kill secure the tank! Don't just wait for the autoloader to reload! Just wait. Oh, no. You cupola blocked, didn't you? How do you know to cupola block but not to exploit an autoloader reload? You are learning the game backwards. You got 1,500 hit points. Do the thing. Oh, God. Alright, well, squandered that opportunity to be sure. But you cannot let autoloaders dictate the state of the game upon to you. That's not how you game design. That's not how you win. Oh, God. Autoloaders are basically the only thing that wants to dictate the game more than the T34. Because they have that violence of action ability or capability, whereas the T34 wants to dictate its game state because its DPM is awful, but it will still do damage in its unideal game state, right? An autoloader, if it gets caught out in a bad game state, won't. Okay, the Skoda's fired 1. What do you not want in a T34? You don't want to be outnumbered in any tank, but we've already talked about the lack of DPM. This tank cannot fight multiple opponents at once if they are dictating the engagement onto it. Even small tanks, you get lashed by 2 tier 6 mediums in this tank, you are dead. You're a tier 8 heavy tank, you're dead. That's the curse of the T34. That's how it works. Maybe it's why I like it. I find it a challenging dynamic, a little different. You know, it's not like a defender where you get lashed by 2 tier 6 mediums. You're fine because Russian armor, lol. Take guns out of the game. Take DPM, take agency away from the enemy team. That Skoda could well have 1 shot left. He might do. But you should take that shot, you should move forward, and you should kill secure this chopper. And if you don't see the Carnarvon still threatening, then you can give the Skoda another shot, and then reverse away as he tries to come and pound you with his next reload. Right? Just stop sitting. You have 1,500 hit points! What are your hit points for? What are they doing? Why are you holding in a tank with no DPM? Okay, that was his last shell. He fired that. He doesn't have more shells. Why are you sat here? Why? Go forward. Yes. 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 Oh my God. He literally cannot kill you. He literally can't. He doesn't have the shells in a clip. Okay, he's bounced 1. Go! 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 For the love of God, go! Thank you, Lord. Okay. Don't let... Your team is outnumbered! You have hit points! Use them! What are you expecting is going to happen here? What's the scenario in your head? What do you expect is going to happen? Do you expect this not to happen? Do you expect this not to happen? Time time, man! Go forward! Use your hit points! Dictate! Dictate! Oh! He has no shields left. He has no shields left. Pull out wide. Go to here. Why do you go to here? Because it gives you a bit of cover from the VZ and it keeps you out of line of fire of the SU-130 as long as it's render distance. But you go to here, you overpeak, you kill the Scud. Alright? Then you kill the VZ. Why do I recommend going out there even further? Because in addition to keeping you out of render distance of this guy and giving you cover from the VZ, it also puts you in a really good position to deal with the Carnarvon if he comes from this direction. Yes. Don't get distracted if the VZ pops up. Lovely. Cool, cool, cool. You should be auto-winning this situation. Auto-winning. Alright. Why are we looking left here? I would argue that you should be looking right. Because if you poke up in this area, you can see the guy come in there. But there's not a huge amount. I'm thinking we got more cover to the... I don't know what that guy thought he was doing. Why he did not just wait. Or literally, can we talk about how bad that maneuver was? He literally poked on an open corner. There's an entire bush line and a fucking lock right in these bushes. Literally about 55 meters away from him. And he poked, okay, cool. Right. Carnarvon, really good DPM. But you are outnumbered right now. If the SU is worth his salt, he will get out of that position, group up with that Carnarvon, and you will lose. How do you play counter to that? You cannot play passively in a T34 against multiple opponents. We have to get off our booties and we have to charge. We have to go out this way, see if we can find the Carnarvon, see if we can get him in a 1v1 and work from there. Oh, I would be really impressed if the enemy team managed to lose this, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Okay, there's a bit of dictation going on. Trade one. Lovely, lovely. Okay, Carnarvon should literally just fall back and hold. If he stays out in the open, in this engagement, he's a dumbass. Oh my god, he's actually dented. He is actually... Just go there. Just go behind the rock. Just wait for your SU. Oh my god, why are we... Stop delaying! SU cover top speed of 60! We're poking sideways! Which is actually the right thing to do, because it speeds up the engagement. Okay, what is this Carnarvon? Well, load HE, my man! Load HE! What, you got 515 alpha damage? Potentially some modules as well? Why we stop... What? We stopped in that situation to ask the SU's health. My man, you were still spotted. And you stopped facing this way when I... I'm distressed. Okay, intuition. Cool. We got HE in the chamber. 63 pen? Am I mad? 60 pen. I don't know where I got 63 from. Hey, my medication's ready. Yay, antidepressants. Okay. 25%. Oh my word, team are actually communicating hit points. To be clear, I'm not mad that he asked for the hit points. I'm mad about when he asked for the hit points. Because he was still spotted, and we did not know if the SU was coming up to try and support his Carnarvon. So ideally, this man should have gone back to AP. I'm not sure, I didn't see the intuition. But if he's below 400 hit points, then yeah. Okay, so the better approach there would have been to come a little wider, I think. Get down into here and then push up. It'll be interesting to see if this gentleman knows you can actually go around this lot to the left and up this way, which may well be merited, pushing up there. Let's see, do we get lit? Okay, left, left, left. Don't go high, don't go high. Don't. You can poke high, just don't go high. Okay, bit of spot and check behind. Okay, so we've got sort of 0.2 seconds on the reaction clock right now. To be clear, in these endgame situations, your eyes should be on your map immediately. Why is that the case? Well, because if something gets spotted directly in front of you, in the middle of your screen, when you're holding an angle, you will see it. It's big enough, it's right there. But if you're looking at the middle of your screen and something appears on your map, it is more unlikely that you will see it. So you can look at your map and still see something appear in the middle. You can't look at the middle and still see something appear on your map. So you should be looking at the map. So hopefully this guy's going to swing his turret around immediately. Little lacking. Okay, R function, please. R function. We're moving at full speed here. 0.25 accuracy. We can miss this shot. We want to close to him right now while keeping our gun stable. Tap R once. You close distance and you hold perfect aim. Was that a track shot? Okay. Alright. Now, what is the most important thing to do at this point? Cover the loss condition. What's the loss condition? Well, loss condition is SU in sort of B1, B2. Like, you can't cap, you can't rush him, you lose, essentially. So, cover the loss condition at this point means basically head up here and make sure you've got vision on this approach to this position. What you also want to do at that point is manufacture a circumstance where you can be reactionary to appearance of an SU from any angle. So what you would do to achieve that is you would place yourself next to changes of engagement. So lay of the land is a really good way of doing this. If you are on the edge of something, like the edge of this little hill here, and you're looking one way, something appears behind you, you can put yourself in a position where you only have to make a tiny movement to slide your tank off and out of line of fire. It's a really effective way of keeping yourself safe against all eventualities in these endgame positions. So in this circumstance, what you do, as an example, you do it further out to the right, but as an example, you'd go into this position using your gun depression right on the edge to aim over this way, and then if the SU got spotted behind you here, you would reverse down this hill, right? So that's what we want to do right now, is both take high ground and cover the loss condition. Now, we've not got an awful lot of time. Knocking down a lot of foliage here. So, being here does not in any way cover the loss condition. That SU could go all the way around, sneak out to B1 right now, and there's literally no way of us winning, bar something really stupid happening. So, one thing that we can do also, we could work a proxy, so we could head up to this building and aim behind us. Because what that does is, if we are plowed into this building and aimed directly behind us on this position, probably not a good idea because this is a possibility, but conceptually, going to this building, aiming behind us. If he comes in front of us, we proxy him before he has a shot at us so we can respond. So there are multiple ways of playing an endgame like this. We're just trying to cover the basic concepts. Covering your loss condition is basically the best way of going about it. Also, he can see this destructible cover going down if you give him the chance to. And we're just not sure. We can look again at the scenario that I would try and manufacture. So, light on the edge here. Literally light on the edge. Because it allows you in a slow, hard to respond in vehicle to change the state of combat very, very quickly. Far more quickly than you can by simply reversing back behind a corner or driving forward, right? If you perch yourself on the edge here and cover there, then it literally takes only a wiggle to slide yourself off. And so you are responsive in that scenario, and it's something that you can use in these endgame situations, and something I thoroughly recommend. That's, of course, if you are expecting eagerness. Right now, versing behind the building. At this point, hold an angle, stop moving about, and zoom out. It should be like this, watching all this foliage. Right? You knocked something over, you very well could do as well. If a tree falls over down there, you basically win the game on the spot, right? So, just hold the corner. If he appears there, just tap shift, you're in sniper mode and you win, right? But you should be looking for this destructible cover falling over at the end here. It's worth noting that I believe the T34... Did they have a view range change? Because it's 380 on this vehicle now, isn't it? I can't remember if it used to be 350. I think it did. Or maybe I'm just getting flashbacks from IS-20 gameplay back in the day. Okay, so someone's just going to have to make a yellow. Oh! That should be a win condition. Give him your target. If he fires heat, it's gun mantly. Yeah, that should be a GG. Gentle. Bit of a risk firing that earlier where you're going down that hill. We've all missed shots like that. Okay. This is a... this is a mediocre player, I would say. That I'm tempted at this point to think that the gun blocking or the cupola blocking was an accident. He just literally flicked his mouse and did it by mistake. Like, this game did not have to be this difficult. This game, for a reasonably good player, would have been almost average. It would have been, a good game, but it would have been one significantly easier. We spent so much of this game on 1,500 hit points, literally not exploiting opportunity, which is really poor in your heavy tanks, because it's literally what they're designed to do. They have hit points, they have mitigation capacity. Admittedly, the T34's mitigation is predicated on dictation, but particularly against autoloaders, the need to dictate onto them is inherent to their gameplay, right? When they're reloading, when the Skoda is reloading, you look for opportunities to play upon to it, right? And literally, when that Skoda was out of shells, I want to impress upon you that you were sat in a 1,500 hit point, a full health tier 8 heavy tank against a chopper on a one-shot, and you did nothing. That was the engagement, right? And you did nothing. For the entirety of the time that it took that Skoda to reload, you did nothing. And that's why this game was so difficult, because you didn't play on opportunities that were presented to you. So it's indicative of very, very inexperienced gameplay. It's sort of like, these are the kind of mistakes that will lose games more often than not. It's not... I feel like people get the wrong idea about sort of 48% players. They don't actively lose games. They inactively lose games. They lose games by not doing, more than by doing. And I think that's an important distinction, because you do get to a level where it is actively losing. These are, you know, like your 44%ers and below. But people in the sort of ballpark that I feel like this person is in, of sort of 47, 48%, they are losing games via not taking action. Right? Via occupying a position of responsibility such as a top-tier heavy tank and not fulfilling that quota of responsibility in their games. And as it happens in this circumstance, we had a really good game out of it, 5 kills, most likely ace tanker, but it did not have to be that way. This game was manufactured essentially by poor decisions that were made in it. So, what am I thinking? Okay, so my estimate is 48.4% and 986 WN8. Let's see. Okay, another new account, and I was off the mark, but looks like he is getting better, because to be clear, that gameplay that we saw was 48%. Like, those are the kind of games played by 48% players. Good to see this man sort of turning his gameplay in the right direction. Love to see that, but I owe this man some gold. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. It has been an absolute privilege. If you want to see the next and previous episodes, link will be in the description. You can get early access to all of these videos by becoming a channel member, so look at that if you're interested. And the playlist with all of these videos will be on the outro screen as well. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Everybody, cheers from Germany, man. Thought I'd hide a couple silly verses, my friend. He is a nice guy like Ned Flanders, but wielding a band hammer that make viewers feel him like a gang member, yeah. You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but can smash